Sometimes you need a break from all the crazy wire wrapping, fancy, convoluted, incredibly complicated designs that require all kinds of mental gymnastics and finger dexterity, and you just want to relax and make some stuff that's simple. And the great part about that is two things. Number one is all you need to do is know how to make some simple type loops, and you can make endless pieces that are just beads and charms stacked on top of each other. And believe it or not only will that make a great amount of product for you to take to shows, but I helped somebody with one of their craft shows 2 weeks ago, and within a couple days at that craft show and a couple other places, that person made over $1,000. And it was the holiday season, but still, she happened to have a lot of product because she just knew how to put nice colors and beads and charms together in a nice pattern. And one piece of wire with a little loop on each end, and boom, you can make tons of product in a very short amount of time. And as I always say, if you want to sell one piece, you better put 10 out. If you want to sell 10 pieces, you better put 100 out, because that's the way shoppers shop. When they see 5 things, they don't think it's trustworthy. When they see 100 things, then they say, oh, I have a nice selection to pick from, and then their brain starts thinking about all different things. Their brain starts categorizing it into what is their favorite, their least favorite, and then when they find their most favorite, then they feel like making a sale because they feel like they did some research. This all happens in split seconds in buyers' minds, but it's very, very proven psychologically, and I've seen it come true for me and every other artist I've worked with over and over again. So make a ton of product. Plus, the more you make, the better you get at it, and it can just be relaxing to make little loops and just enjoy your beads and your charms and not have to overthink a crazy pattern and worry about getting it wrong. Save those moments for when you want to tackle something more ambitious. But for now, let's make some fun, easy stuff. You only need a teeny tiny bit of wire. This is even too much. And you only need round nose and needle nose, and that's it. You want to take it to about how much you know you need for the loop, and that's going to come with practice. And bend a right angle like that. Then you want to grab the very tip, and how far down is another thing that's going to take practice. For me, it's usually about halfway down, depending on the tool, but grab it right on the edge and roll. Reposition your hand so you don't get carpal tunnel. Roll, and then look at it, and then roll it right in till you have perfect little loop that is just the way you want it, and you'll get better and better at these as you do them. Even that I'm not totally happy with. I'm going to come back with this and straighten it out, and I want to make it look like a machine perfect eye hook. Then you just stack your beads on. When you're done with the beads, you're going to stack, and they can be any number that you want. It could be 1 bead, 2, 3, 7, I don't care. Pull them really tight against the first loop you made. And then you're going to make a right angle against the beads for the second loop. So really carefully bend it. And again, it's not going to be perfect. This is going to get turned into like a weird curve, so you can bend it back and bend that again. Sometimes you take the needle nose and you try to get in there, but whatever. Do your best to make a right angle. And then this time you're cutting off how much you're going to need from this side to make the loop. And you're going to miscalculate. You're going to cut off too much, and you're gonna have to redo it, or you're gonna leave yourself too much, and you're gonna have to make it. So I'm gonna mess up on purpose just to show you. Like, if I gave myself too much, and then I started coming around with my round nose like this, and look at that, I have a little too much right there. See that? That's fine. This happens to me a lot. I just come back, I cut it. Careful, close your eyes or make sure you're wearing glasses, because that will shoot right at your face sometimes. And then I roll it some more. Sometimes I reposition it so I get the best angle, and I roll it, and I roll it till I have it exactly the way I want. And again, it's going to get all messed up like that. You just grab your flat nose and straighten it, turn it every which way, make sure it's totally straight up and down just the way you want. And voila. Now there's a trick here. You can use jump rings to connect this to the next part, which could be either of these, but you want to make sure the earring faces out of the ear in the same direction as the ear. So if this is the ear, you want the charm to be flat facing out from the ear. And if you do it wrong, the charm is going to end up like that. Now it wiggles, but it's mostly going to be like that. So I'll show you. In this case, if we put on, now once you make these little loops, you can open them sideways, just like you would a jump ring. Make sure you got the right side, and just open them and close them. Make sure you close them really tight. Or you can open and close if you have another connecting piece, like a jump ring or an earring hook. You can For this one, I always turn the earring upside down, and I pull this little ball down so you get a better, you can open it better. And these break real easily too, so just don't open them and close them a million times. Try to get one open, put the side in you want, and then I hang it off like that, close it tight, and then this side we can open this and put our charm on, because that's the pattern I wanted. So lay out your patterns on like a nice velvet board like this. I'm borrowing my friend's board for this. Usually I'm not this sophisticated. I have them rolling all around the table. But this is, all right, that's tight in there. Now look at this. Stretch it out and see how it looks. If I stretch this out and it's going into the earring like this, then if I stretch it completely out like this, see, the charm is not this way, it's this way. And that's what I don't want. This hook is going into the ear, the charm should be facing this way. So you can add another jump ring. Every time you add a jump ring, it turns at a quarter turn one way or the other way, back and forth. But you can also carefully, with any of your pliers, just grab this like that, hold it tight, grab the other side of the loop, and give it a quarter turn like that. And what you're doing, you're just turning the orientation of the loop and the loop of your wire. And look, it's not totally straight now, so I gotta bend that back. You're always messing with it until you get the hang of this. But look at that. Now this is going into the ear, it's plugging into the earlobe, and then the charm is facing out, where you can see the whole charm. It'll wiggle, but mostly it'll be facing out, and voila, that's what you want. Ta-da! When you hook it on your display, it'll also face out, so it looks good to the people. And that's it. Have some fun. Make a bazillion of these. Time yourself to see how fast you can make them, but make sure your loops are really tight. That's the only thing, because this little tiny charm will slip right out, and especially this little earring hook will slip right out, and then your earring will fall off someone's ear when you're not paying attention. So get really good at that. I've spent a lot of time just taking my time, relaxing, and adjusting with my various types of pliers until I'm very comfortable that the loop is tight and secure, and both loops look the same size. Nobody's looking at your loops but you at the end of the day. So as long as they are tight, if you have one big loop, one little loop, nobody's going to criticize it. Nobody knows. But it'll make you feel good as you get slightly better and better. Even this, I could cut that and make that a little bit tighter up to the bead. And when I'm really, really in the mood to make it super tight, I'll do that. I'll cut the little end off and roll it again. But it depends on how much you want to just pump out more pieces, or you want to make each one just the way you like. Ta-da!